ready to go in this one. And we have Cloud9, of course, featuring Shroud, Nothing, Skadoodle, Stewie, and Automatic versus compLexity, Android, Whitmer, Uber, Def, and Surreal.
And this is compLexity's pick too, so they actually got the CT side on their pick of the map. So fast start here from compLexity, heading over towards this B-bomb site, but not really pressing the issue thus far. They are going to collapse through short and the monster tunnel into this B-bomb site. They're going to overwhelm Uber with that first frag. Shroud is able to find a reply, but he is quickly silenced there by Def, and they will get this plant. Cloud9 are ready to go with this reset.
They're going to have to find some headshots here as Def finds not one but two. Automatic rolls in though, gets a double of his own. 2 versus 1 here. He'll make his way back towards the dirty water here, looking for that kit. I think he's found it eventually. No, he still hasn't managed to locate that one. And Android will take the battle to him and win that one. The mysterious disappearing defusal kit confused us all, and including the last member alive for Cloud9 Automatic. It is a lovely start for compLexity. A simple B push there, catching, I don't think they exactly caught Cloud9 off guard rather, but the entry flash was epic. Both members of Cloud9 stuck at the monster pole and at the barrels. They were both completely flashed. So brilliant teamwork, good timing if anything from compLexity, and they start well.
It's the ideal start for them as well, and they need to make sure that they navigate this anti-eco as well. You can see Cloud9 have actually bought into this. They've gone for that scout pistol buy. It's actually Stewie that is rocking that scout, so interesting there. Don't give it to Scar, but Nothing opens the account quite well. The double, the dink set him up quite well, but they're being collapsed on here now by compLexity. They're consolidating their losses quite well, and it's back down to a 3 versus 4 situation. Nothing's taken a little bit of damage here. He might actually catch Whitmer out. He has taken down the bomb as well, so now there's a sense of urgency for compLexity as they try and make their way through. That tag from Stewie has taken Android down to 12 HP, so this could bode quite well for compLexity.
Yeah, Shroud's going to get a kill here as well, and that's a lovely little line held there by Shroud. Sorry to cut you off, but saw that one coming through the miracle of X-Ray. Now Shroud repositions himself nicely with that deagle, and Nothing doing so much damage here in this round. Already picked up a double, but more importantly, he's got the bomb down and he's flanked one of his counterparts. Now this is dangerous here for Cloud9 because they're in such a good position to win this one. They don't want to give it away by being over-aggressive and not retaking as a team. That being said, they don't have a kit, so they're going to have to work pretty smartly to keep on top of this one. Stewie, lovely shot there on a Surreal, gets the bomb down, and Shroud gets the headshot with the deagle. So as quickly as compLexity looked good, it's Cloud9 using that individual skill and aim to its maximum capacity. They pick up the second round and lock this one up.
It was definitely a confidence buy there from Cloud9. They knew that aim on aim, they would be able to make those pistols and the scout work, and that's exactly what happened there. compLexity, unfortunately, were picked apart by the scout firstly. Stewie actually did a lot of damage with that weapon, and he set up quite a few frags in that instance, if anything, creating uncertainty as well. But compLexity going for control of short. He is sending numbers through to the water, and they have actually left the bomb in there by himself. So Whitmer is tasked with that one, and he is taking control of water, but he is just choosing to rejoin his teammates here. compLexity have got a little bit of map territory, but that's because Cloud9 are very much consolidated, playing very defensive in the sites.
Well, because of Def's positioning now, compLexity have decided to fall back. I'm pretty sure that they were decided on that B site with the bomb going into short, but then since Def got such an advanced position towards A, they felt it wise to just fall back and see what came of the, I guess, the A advantage that he has. But look, it's not an advantage just yet. He hasn't managed to peek anywhere into the bomb site. Now Stewie2K will find the player aforementioned, Def there, and Shroud will pick up the first headshot of the round onto Android. So good start for Cloud9 in this Tech 9 armor buy here for compLexity. Stewie will fight and once again gets one, can control the spray. Does a nice job there, gets the second. And I think this will be all over by the shouting for Cloud9. Just a couple of kills left, but compLexity will do well to just get a plan here and try and force the issue. And I think that bomb is going to go down in good time. No, it doesn't. Automatic there, doing a great job before Skadoodle finishes it off. Jim, pretty standard there from Cloud9, and they did a good job of staying together.
It was a very safe approach from Cloud9's perspective. So at least in that sense, They were not picked apart, and there wasn't really an entry for complexity into that round. They didn't get the plant either, so that means, unfortunately for them, they are going to be on another eco round. They've got a P250 here and there, but largely it's just the Glocks that will be trying to do the work. Their objective is to get the plant, but you can see Cloud9 gone very aggressive here in mid-connector. Stewie takes it on himself. That flash will buy him at least 2 frags. Looking for the third, but just smartly, not overcommitting for it here, not surrendering his weaponry. He is farming money quite well, looking for that 4th frag. So the money bonus for him is quite real. The payday is just around the corner for Stewie. As he looks for another frag in that round, finding his 4th, and a handsome sum of money for his trouble.
Yeah, great round there for Cloud9, not just because of the defense put up there, and the SMG kills, the most important part of that round, because they will max out on that money bonus and make sure that Scar gets that AWP in his hand straight away. They'll move into the first gun round. It's 3-1, the way of Cloud9. compLexity here, doing their best to hang with the powerhouse North American franchise in Cloud9, but they win the pistol, lose a couple of rounds if you're just joining us on the back of it, and now they're stuck in this first gun battle. Jim, they have a couple of smokes. That's 4 smokes on the compLexity side, so not too bad, but only 1 Molotov. So the bomb slide hit won't be too complex. Yeah, coming up compLexity.
I see what you did there.
I tried not to, actually, but then I found myself saying the word already, and I realized I was halfway down the pun rabbit hole, so I had to commit to it.
It wasn't too bad. I've heard worse. I've committed worse. But either way, slow, methodical, I guess, taking of territory here from compLexity as they work their way up mid towards A. Cloud9 haven't been really too aggressive at all there at this point. They are very much conceded to allowing compLexity just to damage each other.
That's nerves right there from Whitmer. He's a bit heavy on the trigger finger, and he does a bit of damage to his teammate. Not just that, I think they'll work with the Cloud9 boys to perhaps the location, but Def starts well, nailing Stewie 2K with that over peak.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what Stewie was doing there, actually. He was very much unsupported from the rest of his team and perhaps waiting on a flash, but at the moment this triggers this A execute.
Yeah, and Cole will roll in here. Nothing goes down straight away, uncontested to Whitmer, and the boost over the box gets Def the peak, and now Uber will pick one up. Scar over extends unwisely into the bomb site there all the way. And now Skadoodle will be left in a 3 or 4 versus 1 after he takes down Def, so it turned into a 3 versus 1, but really nice execution there for compLexity. But maybe overconfidence from Cloud9? One play getting done at A long, and then also nothing going down without getting a kill.
Yeah, great work from Def there, actually picking up 2 frags, and that really is what bought compLexity time in that round. You can see they were all there as they actually set and execute that side. It was just that peek over the box that really caught Cloud9 off guard. So great shooting there from Def. He has bought his team around, but compLexity are able again to buy into this round. So that economy for now remains intact, but you can see a very, very passive approach here from compLexity, just opting for that playground boost to see whether or not anyone's going to push too long. That hasn't been the case. They're broken apart, and now they will slowly set about taking territory. Again, Cloud9, very, very passive in their site holds, not really taking too much control of mid-connector, bar that one anti-eco round where Stewie farmed. And I think they're just hoping that compLexity chew up a lot of time trying to clear out the hidey holes and take some territory.
Yeah, this plays straight into the hands of Cloud9 right now. They're forcing compLexity into pretty much set executions here as the compLexity guys throw a couple of decoy grenades towards the B bomb site, but ultimately they'll be making their way towards A now. You can see the bomb working its way up the short part of A. Stewie 2K will be the bomb site defender here for Cloud9. Android will rotate back through, so this is definitely an A hit here, but I think Cloud9 are pretty much aware of the situation right now, and there's a lot of movement here. Whitmer gets through the smoke, but does he get the frag? That's the important question. It will be Shroud opening up onto Whitmer, but the trade comes in from Drill. He gets the first one. He needs to do more automatic. It's a great job in there for compLexity, getting a couple of kills in the bomb slide. Stewie saves the day. His teammate's about to go down, and it's all on Android X23 to clutch this one. 3 versus 1. Too much teamwork there, Cloud9. Clean up crew, on aisle 9 for Cloud9. It is the round.
They had all the angles covered there. There wasn't too much, unfortunately, Android could do in that situation. He had to step, and he wasn't able to isolate a single counter-terrorist. They all were trained on that one position. So despite good work getting that plant, unfortunately, it didn't work out for compLexity. The CTs were just waiting that one out, and we see, I think it was Whitmer. He tried his best to get through that smoke and push through, but unfortunately there was no supporting flashes at all. He wasn't able to convert those frags. So we do see now a pistol buy coming out from Cloud9. They're taking fast water control, fast through that monster potentially, as we do see them now try and get themselves onto short. They have troubled nothing though, so getting him down to 3 HP, but they haven't converted that into a frag. They backed off for the moment, and again though, Cloud9 very, very passive in their sight holds.
That's right, Android going down to just 2 HP, Def on 39, so lots of damage being done here. Automatic needs to be careful though. It's not a great position to be in, that spam line. You can just cop a lot of random damage. No need to take that risk if you're on the CT side of things. As the boys from compLexity just try and get lucky through that wall, and now Android will make his way up the monster pole, trying to get something going here for compLexity, but it looks as though it's just going to be a shooting gallery up here. Just Stewie who's 2K, gets 1, gets 2, gets 3. Easy money there for Stewie coming in late. I thought because of how many of the compLexity guys stayed alive for that long, I thought they might have been in with a shot, but Stewie did a great job there of just cleaning up.
It could have gone a lot better for compLexity if they just had a little bit of utility in that round. Maybe a smoke, something like that, to just block vision on that plant spot, because otherwise Stewie was just going to town. It was a shooting gallery. You were completely correct in saying that there, and it was really like shooting fish in a barrel. Unfortunately for compLexity, they didn't achieve the objective in that round and get that bomb plant. That would have helped their economy a little bit more in the later rounds, as we do see now 5 AK buy coming out from them. Again, a very slow passive approach coming out from Cloud9. They did play early on with a bit more aggression towards mid. In fact, this round they're a little bit more advanced in their progression, as Uber takes down Shroud through that boost, and Shroud will be scratching his head because he really didn't telegraph his position at all.
Yeah, he went for the first jump. He jumped over the boost, and I think that the guys from compLexity thought, well, if he's going to start a second jump, he's going to do it from on top of the sandbags, and immediately sort of fired through that one and picked up Shroud. So good awareness there from Uber. And his teammate X23 is now making his way up, but that's an excellent shot there on nothing. He's been copping some pretty brutal 1Bs, has Jordan Gilbert, and now we will move towards automatic on a defender bomb side.
I'm going to say, would you be game in saying he's been copping nothing but headshots?
He actually has been. It's been a rough start for star player from Cloud9. One of the star players from Cloud9, as Stewie gets 1, and Skadoodle will be able to chime in there. But it's boiled down to a 2 versus 1. Only 30 seconds to go, and Skadoodle knows that he's got an opponent very, very close by in the form of Uber Surreal. Goes for the bomb plant now, and I think Skadoodle's in trouble here. Uber's opened up the angle and given his position away. So Skadoodle actually may not be sure exactly where Uber is just yet. He's having a hard time finding one, but he does have a kit in tow. Now that is going to just go nowhere in particular. It was a bit of a warning shot there from Scar, but Uber got the advanced position and won the round for his team. So Cloud9 can buy into this one, but need to start getting their CT side together a little bit more, because they're being exposed right now by compLexity.
It is a bit of a to and fro battle between the teams at this point, with the economy starting to come into play here. compLexity have done enough to whittle away Cloud9's economy, and we will see them go onto an eco round if they don't successfully navigate their way through this round. compLexity, on the other hand, also quite fragile themselves, and very passive play from compLexity, but this is the first time we've seen aggression from Cloud9. In fact, it's Stewie that's very advanced with that AWP, and he might be able to catch someone out here if they're not aware.
Might be able to, but Def is more than aware. He's got that headshot onto Stewie almost instantly as he comes around the corner. So brilliant start once again for Def, and he's been impactful in a number of rounds, Jim, entering into different areas and parts of the map, including the bomb site at A. So great start for him, and he'll need to keep doing that if compLexity want to keep challenging Cloud9 in these rounds. Cloud9 currently up 5-3. With no doubt a strong-ish T side to come, so compLexity will be tested on both sides, but both teams hanging around right now.
Very passive hold here at the B bomb site, though. You can see they're not really too interested in holding the choke points. They're holding back with that double boost there. And it hasn't paid dividends as Shroud gets taken down. So he was on the top of that boost there, and he has now been decapitated as Skadoodle actually gets caught out as well. So falling to pieces here for Cloud9. And they smartly made the choice to try and save here. Automatic's in no position to try and do anything but save his weaponry here, and nothing will be doing the same. So compLexity, I think, have recognised this, and they'll be going for the hunt. They'll be trying to kill off any hope of saving this weaponry. But I think Whitmer's actually let nothing run past. He's heard him though, so he'll be very, very much on his case.
Yeah, the calls to fall back fell on deaf ears as the man himself rolls through and picks up a triple there, entering into the bomb site once again. So all 3 frags going the way of Def, and he's playing at an unbelievably good level right now for his team. He needs to keep going, as I said, and if he does, they're going to be in a very good position moving forward as Whitmer takes down nothing at the end of the round. compLexity pick up their 4th and force Cloud9 into a full save. They may force around Automatic's M4, but I very much doubt that. So it looks as though they've just got the one gun, and compLexity look to try and draw this one up with a complete buy, full utility, and a pretty good idea of the Cloud9 economy.
Curious to see what they do with this rifle though. Are they going to willingly try and stack it up? They're going to put a lot of pressure here on short though. You can see they've collapsed down that mid connector. They've collapsed down into short as well. It hasn't got them the results that they wanted though. Whitmer picks up the first frag, but nothing here with the flank. Stewie finds himself a frag as well, and left themselves some guns here, but unfortunately Shroud has gone down, and that has left the B bomb site open. It's back to a 3 versus 3, but you can see now compLexity are going to make their way towards the B bomb site. Fantastic Molotov though, driving compLexity back and changing the angle that they have to take here. Skadoodle might be caught out. He has overcommitted himself and sat in front of that smoke, but Stewie's able to find a frag, takes a lot of damage doing so. 2 versus 2, both teams, this round is hanging in the balance.
Certainly is hanging in the balance, and they have no idea that nothing lurks behind those sandbags. He needs to get in the game. I think he's had a rough start, but he can make up for it all here by winning this crucial round. Stewie really quite scared that there's a player moving up on his position, but for now, he's quite safe, but not for very long, as they are, in fact, going to go that way. And Stewie, excellent position here, could be on for Cloud9 as Surreal and Android make their way up, and he will find the head, but he doesn't connect at all. Stewie panic sprays a little bit there, doesn't connect at all with Surreal, and now we will find nothing in a 2 versus 1, but he'll go down too. So great finish to the round for Surreal and Android. They pick up the 5th round. A bit hairier than they might have liked, Jim, but they get the job done.
Stewie 2K, unfortunately not hitting those shots. He had the right line though, and I think it was just that last moment readjustment that unsettled what he was trying to achieve there, and he only needed to hit a few bullets and unfortunately wasn't able to do so. You could see that both teams had similar HPs in that instance, and unfortunately that's what cost them that round. But great play from compLexity, opting to go towards that A bomb site, and bold play from them, paying dividends.
Certainly is, as Cloud9 looks to buy up here into the 11th round. 4 M4s and a FAMAS on Shroud. Not sure exactly why he has the FAMAS in hand. It always is a bit amazing to me how this happens. The sort of star note aimer on a team ends up with the worst rifle. I've never been a fan of that, but obviously they think he has great ability with that weapon. So he's got it in his hands and will try to defend this push here for compLexity, which is coming in bulk now as Whitmer opens up the account on Automatic. Shroud gets one, but gets sprayed down straight away. Nothing, needs to spray down a couple. He can't. Def on the spot there, able to trade effectively, and he'll get one to go as well. No, that is in fact Android, and the HP is so low. Stewie 2K has a great chance of winning this one, but can he find both kills?
He's found one, but he needs to find Def here, and Def has been hitting some fantastic shots. He does get the jump on Stewie, taking him down and winning another round here for compLexity. compLexity actually set themselves up quite nicely with those smokes. What it did was it forced Cloud9 to either make that decision, sit behind the smokes and wait, or stand in front of them and take the fight, and they took that latter option, and it didn't actually pay any dividends at all. compLexity were able to get the frags quite simply, and even though it boiled down to a 1 versus 1, It telegraphs to me the fact that compLexity actually have something prepared here on this map Overpass. This was Cloud9's pick.
They definitely do. compLexity there, getting a little bit fortunate that Cloud9 didn't hold their shape. I think you made a very good point. They should have either stayed behind the smoke there, as Scoodle picks up a P250 frag onto Uber and will pick up the P90 as well, but I think it will be too little too late here, and I think compLexity will beat Cloud9 from the spot here and get themselves into this A-bomb site for the point.
Yeah, that fast call once Uber went down to hit that A-bomb site resulted in them getting into position quite quickly, but it might take a little bit too long. The Seekers are just waiting there on the doorstep of A and waiting to see whether or not anyone from compLexity is game enough to try and take that kill. Surreal nearly gets caught out by Stewie on that flank, and you can see now they are just running into the meat grinder. compLexity feasting on those frags. Shroud and Automatic left in a 2 versus 4 situation. That being said though, if they landed any one of these Beagle boys, it would be a very different round. Thankfully, Whitmer is able to find that frag and stabilise things for compLexity, as we now see Automatic just trying to see if he can get himself a gun in this situation.
A gun, a kill, some momentum for his team. Anything positive here for Automatic, but did he actually think he was getting away with that? Or, I'm not sure. I don't think he knew. I think he knew full well that he wasn't getting away with that one, but compLexity. Surprise package, Jim. Did not see this coming one iota. Not one little bit. So, lovely gameplay here from compLexity. They've seemingly got Cloud9's number on a number of different aim battles, which I didn't expect. They've had their number a few times with the strategy, which I didn't expect. So, compLexity coming as the dark horse into this matchup, but right now looking the more informed team.
I think a lot of that actually lies in Cloud9's willingness to try and play a passive style. It hasn't been working out for them. That being said though, when they have tried to go aggressive, you've seen Def really turn it up and hit some shots. That one shot on Stewie when he was very aggressive there in the party with that AWP sits with me, because that just shows me that compLexity have turned up to play. And whilst they, on paper, if you look at the two lineups, you'd think that compLexity definitely would be outgunned. They are matching it aim on aim, so this is quite impressive for me from compLexity. And not only that, I think it's their patience too in a lot of these rounds that are also winning the overall battle. You can see Cloud9 are getting quite visibly frustrated by that and trying to take those fights, stepping in front of smokes when they don't need to, and it's boding well for compLexity in this instance. They are going to try and hit this B bomb site and cause a bit of a fake here, but that bomb has been sent towards A, so they now have to get a move on. It is a 3 versus 5.
Certainly is, and the bomb will go down here. Uber will plant it up. Def getting that nice position behind the truck, and that's a decent smoke there from Cloud9. It's a 5 versus 3, but the positions here are so good for compLexity that you can't help but feel, even though there's a man advantage, this is going to be hard work for Cloud9. They're waiting patiently there. That's a great flanking kill by Nothing. That could end up being crucial. Or will it? Def gets one. He needs to do more. He does. He gets the second. That's brilliant stuff. Almost gets the third. Although now Shroud is in a great position to assist Nothing. Picking up this round. It's going to be on Surreal. He's low HP with that AWP, and he won't get the job done here. Good teamwork by Cloud9, but geez, Surreal and the company at compLexity make that very expensive. Very expensive indeed.
Yeah, they worked out pretty quickly where he could be. That push through mid is what telegraphed exactly where he was. And he was lucky to actually save that AWP out. He survived there on 2 HP, so they did a lot of damage there, compLexity. And they kept that city economy low, but there's still a few rounds to play with here in this half. And they can still get a 9-6 here if they continue on the path that we've been seeing from compLexity. A bit more of a focus here on this B bomb site early on. You can see they've reverted back to that very passive holding style in Playground. And likewise, Cloud9 have actually put a bit of a focus here towards the A bomb site. But Stewie has a lot of information here and a lot of map territory with that push through connector.
He does, but there's so much riding on this round for Cloud9, because if compLexity win this one, then Cloud9 will be on a full reset for the last round of the half, and that will make life very, very difficult. So Cloud9 looking to close out their half positively here and get that 8-7 scoreline going their way. They need to win this and get at least 3 people staying alive, as you said, but Stewie has, whilst he's got a lot of information, he hasn't really got the ability to make a play from there because no terrorists are in sight.
He's got the right information though. As you can see, compLexity have actually focused themselves now towards that B bomb site, but it's a little bit too late. So we see Android get that entry onto B bomb site, and now they are being spurred into action here, compLexity, as Automatic finds the reply, but the frags are coming compLexity's way. And now we do see just Stewie 2K. He got a lot of information with that push, but they didn't really act on it, did they, Cloud9? And that's left the B bomb site right for the taking. And that grenade might actually clean Def up. It does now. 1 versus 2 situation. He's taken a lot of damage in that encounter with Uber, but we will see him at least attempt to go for this. And no one is willing from compLexity's side to try and give him that frag. Whitmer does eventually step and take him down, but it's been a well-played round. Well-played half so far from compLexity.
Yep, and here comes the reset for Cloud9. They're going to very much struggle to buy into this round. Reward for effort there for compLexity. Reward for playing rounds close with Cloud9. Even when they weren't winning the round, they were playing them very, very closely. And in particular, that 5 versus 3 retake where they managed to get it down to just a 2 versus 1, that really paved the way for them in this round to force Cloud9 to this situation. Where it's just basically pistols versus a full kit out here for compLexity.
This is dangerous here because they've got no presence over towards the A bomb site, so there's no real reason for Cloud9 to focus on that. And if they hit this B bomb site, there is going to be a fast rotation through the mid connector. So we will see Stewie, though, come into contact with Whitmer. The holding player is gone. You can see now compLexity have made that call. They're going towards the B bomb site. Cloud9 attempt to give it to him. Just a linus retake as Def takes down Shroud. Back to a 4 versus 4 now. But the post-plant positions from compLexity are going to be strong. Cloud9 will struggle to retake.
Definitely, not just with the positioning there, but also by virtue of the fact that the weaponry is so... Ooh, wow. Crosshair looked like it was on his legs, but that's fine. Skadoodle picks up the headshot there on the planter, and it will go to a 3 versus 3.
Strangely, though, compLexity made that call not to plant at all, and that would have put a lot more pressure on the CTs, but because that bomb plant never actually went down, they're now forced to try and take these aim drills as it's gone back down to a 2 versus 2. Def is quite low, though, so this is a very winnable round for Cloud9.
It certainly is, but a little work to do here. Automatic's going to play a huge role in just a moment because I think Def has Stewie's number. No, that is Android, but both players have given their positions away here. It is going to be Stewie poking through. He gets one. That could be critical. Lovely play there from Stewie, taking the gamble and the risk, and it will be Automatic finishing it off for Cloud9, getting that one 8-7. Spectacular work from Cloud9, salvaging that round and getting it to go their way. compLexity will be disappointed that they've let Cloud9 win that one when they were in such an advantageous position with the weaponry and the resources.
Exactly right, and I think that decision not to plant, once they actually had all the utility expended, they had the smokes up, they had everything ready to go, they taked out the plant.
Yeah,
I don't rate that call.
I think the logic must have been that they thought Cloud9 were right behind the smoke on the bridge. So as soon as they went to plant, he was going to get pushed and the bomb was going to go down, and that would have been much worse than just trying to fake a few times. But on the flip side, it allowed way too much time for the Cloud9 boys to rotate into position to retake, and that ended up costing more. I mean, you look back on it now with 2020 vision, it's easy to say that it should have gone down, but at the time, I'm guessing he thought there was someone close.
Even at the time, though, they should have had people in place to cover the bomb planter.
Yeah.
So I think, you know, that has come back to bite them. But that being said, though, an impressive half from compLexity. We came into this match heavily favouring Cloud9, thinking compLexity would be outgunned, but it's actually been the British import for compLexity that have been standing up.
Absolutely has been, but Cloud9 could be formidable here on their T side. Only time will tell. Whitmer grabs that USB and Stewie engages his enemy Def at the dirty water area. And that goes his way, so good start here for Cloud9, but they haven't overcommitted to anything just yet. They're going to bide their time, wait for the right moment. I think that's now as they collapse onto this B site. It's going to be a fight to the death, as always, in the bomb site. Stewie picks up 2 more kills, so a triple for him already in the round. And he's going to try and pick up that team down, just skating along and trying to get those extra kills. But Cloud9 way more concerned with just winning the round at this point.
Yeah, and Skadoodle has that flash as well, so they do choose to peek. He will be on the back of that flash there, and that is a fantastic flash. It allows Automatic to get those 2 frags. Uber, despite being flash, was actually able to pick up a frag and reply, but that's of non-consequence now as Cloud9 secure that round.
Yeah, brilliant stuff there from Cloud9, well executed. Ball down to a couple of entry kills there though. Running Glocks, getting those picks early on, and then just warping the CTs out of position until they bent and broke. But for me, Cloud9 need to make this one a clean one, and they need to start getting their gameplay going at a high level, because if they let compLexity hang around for too long, it's one of those situations where you're almost motivating the other team to think that they're in the match so that they think they can win. It gives them extra hope, whereas essentially you could just man up, play solid, and shut them out of the second half.
Ooh, a bit of damage being done there to Stewie as he just makes his way into water, but nothing. Was holding very, very deep in the mid connector there, and did actually pick up that frag onto Whit. The buy from compLexity so far isn't working, and the pistols are being taken down one after the other. Uber though is over at that A bomb site. He's seen absolutely nothing going on, so just here on the 2 remaining, now the 1 remaining B site defender, and he is going to be taken down by that jumping Mac 10 from Shroud. Cloud9 has secured the site and should be able to secure this round win quite comfortably, not taking any losses, albeit some heroics from Uber.
Yeah, Uber will save this scout, and decent job by Cloud9 there. They have 3 of the 4 kills got there on the SMGs. Only 1 on the Mac 10 though, so the money bonus not being maximised, but at this point it doesn't really matter. They're just after the round. They made it clean, and they could actually end up finding Uber here if he manages to land another shot. He doesn't, and he'll save that scout just the same. But Jim, this is good for Cloud9. I think he might, although he's wheeling around pretty quickly here. He's not sure where to look. The flash comes out. He's looking the wrong way. What are you doing, Uber? Can you hit the shot? You do. Nice one. On to nothing. And Uber will keep the scout up, and Cloud9 will continue to roll on towards their 10th round, hopefully. Fingers crossed for them.
And compLexity will be looking to do something similar in this round here, utilising that scout on Uber. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him playing in that A-bomb site. That's probably where the scout is best utilised. In fact, he's taken a very aggressive stance. The rest of compLexity have just headed towards that B-bomb site, and that's exactly where the flashpoint is going to be. Shroud and Stewie in with those SMGs, making it work, and all 4 members have been absolutely shredded as they make their way and just stomp into B. No resistance at all provided from compLexity, and superior weaponry getting it done.
Absolutely, getting it done. Cloud9 looking sharp, looking solid now. Really getting stuck into compLexity in the last couple of rounds. But now it's time for Surreal to grab that AWP. Def and the crew will all be gunned up, ready to go as well. Limited utility, unfortunately, and no kits. So definitely a touch and go round. One of those rounds that you just need a few little things to go your way, Jim. Just a flash that goes slightly too far from an opponent or something of that nature. Just a little break. Sometimes that's all you need in rounds like this to capitalize, but a lot of hard work to be done here by Cloud9, also trying to get into these bomb sites being locked down, and that's a great start for Stewie and Shroud, picking up 1 apiece. Nothing gets a couple of bullets to their head once again, and Def continues his good form, but it's going to be too little too late here for Android as he works his way towards Bank for this retake. Bomb goes down for Cloud9, and they have the man advantage and also the plant down.
And Def is going to play a crucial role here in this retake hit. With Stewie gone down, it's now on to Def. He has an opportunity to collapse on this bomb site and get the flank going as Whitmer does his job, gets 1, but it's now down to a 1 versus 1. Shroud up against Def. Shroud actually making that Mac 10 work, that lack of head armor coming back to aim punch, and that wins them the round. So great work there from Cloud9 in that instance. It was a very, very broken round in terms of play. You could see positionally what I thought was a superior position from compLexity didn't quite work out to be that way.
Yeah, not at all. Cloud9 just not getting lucky. Not getting lucky so much, but definitely understanding that they can't keep playing the way they're playing. They're going to have to lift their game, and I think that they have in this second half. They've really come to life. Scoodle there picking up the first kill of the round once again. compLexity will be on eco right now. Just a couple of pieces of hardware in place. Pistols and also a bit of armor. That's a lovely flick there from Stewie. Mind you, no armor on the opponents, but the flick was real, and he gets the job done. Def here has a pretty important role, but he's actually been mollied out of position and into the spotlight. Def picks up a double. This guy can really shoot the lights out, and he's putting on a show for compLexity. He just needs someone to go with him. He's got 21 kills and 3 assists. He needs some help. Not as much help as Stewie needs, though. 29 and 13 for Stewie 2K. Doing the job nicely for his side.
Yeah, Def could definitely do with some definitive help. At the moment, he's doing a lot of the work on his own, so compLexity looking to someone else to just assist him in that instance. But you can see a very forward approach from Uber and Surreal in the early stages of that round. They've thrown their grenades and backed off now back into the A bomb site, but in the meantime, Stewie 2K has led the charge through the connector and now has a little bit of territory for Cloud9. You can see, though, that they are very, very heavy towards this A bomb site. They have shown no presence at B. And the question is, will compLexity recognise this and just rotate themselves accordingly, as we now see that smoke go up in mid? So it's bought compLexity a little bit of time, but look, we all know the tendency for Cloud9 to try and push smoke.
Yeah, definitely, and I don't think that compLexity's going to have the best read on this because they're so defensive in B. They haven't really got any extra information here, and it's going to be an A execution here. Nothing gets the first. Stewie gets the second. That's just a lovely opening. Def will continue to just make sure that crosshair is connecting with heads, and he's going to be a danger man moving forward in this round. It's 3 versus 4, though. Little cheeky boost coming over the top, and Shroud's found Def, so danger man down for Cloud9. Whitmer and Android try and work their way back in, but now it's a 2 versus 4. And I think that they're waving those white flags. In fact, they are. They're making their way back towards B. And the Cloud9 opening firepower. Just a little bit too much to handle there for compLexity.
Yeah, they got pushed out of that site fairly early on. You can see there's no real chance of a retake here. In fact, there's increasingly less chance of a save. If Android's not careful, he could blow up with this ship. He will lose a lot of his HP, but that'll be it. Automatic takes him down. Automatic doesn't even survive himself, but that's a non-consequence. Cloud9 steamrolling closer towards that 16-round mark, and compLexity, they've got to make that decision now. Are they going to buy? Are they going to just wait this one out, upgrade their pistols perhaps, and give themselves a good chance in the next gun round? They've actually opted to force it here. They're not going to let Cloud9 get that little bit closer towards taking this match.
Yeah, don't love that from compLexity. If you're going to beat some team of Cloud9's ability, you're going to have to beat them with a full complement of guns and utility.
And they've chosen to up the pace here, actually, recognising the lack of utility or weaponry from their opponents. And compLexity are in trouble here as they have Cloud9 pushing the bomb site there and now going to burn. Shroud actually picks up one with that flame, and it's now back to a 2 versus 2. The frags are quite quick. Def, though, is holding strong, so he's got real glimmering hope here for compLexity. This is now down to 1 versus 1. So Real knows Canoodle's in there somewhere, and he will take you down, but that has come at a heavy toll to compLexity's economy. You can see they've got no choice but to buy into this. They did win the round, but it's going to mean that they're going to have to skimp on either weaponry or utility. And Cloud9 have the luxury of a bit of a money tree growing underneath them. They're going to be able to buy again into this round.
Yeah, it's easy for Cloud9 to justify the buy. They've got the complete full kit available to them. compLexity, they proved me wrong there. They won the rounds and made sure that Cloud9 didn't get that one step closer, so well done. But they have such a big task ahead of them here winning this next round, because it doesn't mean a lot if you lose this one and then go back on double eco, which is what is exactly going to happen to them.
There's some aggression early on here from Cloud9. Means that the numbers on compLexity side have been thinned out a little bit. It's now down to a 3 versus 4 situation, and this is where Cloud9 have a minute and 12 seconds within which to work and try and spread that CT defense as thinly as possible. They are still concentrated towards the B bomb site here. They've just left Uber to his own devices at A, and Cloud9 are now encroaching on this this B bomb site, should I say. And it's going to be hard for compLexity to hold. They really don't have a whole heap of utility at their dispense, but here we go.
Here we go as the counter grenades come in from compLexity. Nothing gets the first one onto Surreal. Android replies there, so now it's a 2 versus 3. The bomb plan's going to go down there, but the flash is great there, preventing Android from creeping in and killing Skadoodle, who gets away to safety. So great teamwork there from Nothing throwing that flash. Now Android will try and peek around, and he'll be found out. Nothing connects there. Was a little bit worried for a second, but he makes the spray work. And the final member of compLexity, who is Uber, is caught out of touch and out of time, and he'll fall away there.
And they are out of their heads right now, because unfortunately compLexity are only able to salvage at the moment a UMP, and that's in the hands of Uber, and he's a long way away from trying to collect himself another gun. And if he's not careful, he could be flanked here, because I do believe it is Nothing that is making his way through long, but at the moment he will survive. It is not much to take into the next round, but Cloud9 are just applying the acid here to economies of compLexity members, and you can see the hard reset has come out. This is heartbreak here for compLexity. They looked so good in the first half. They looked good on their T side, but it's fallen apart for them on their CT.
Yeah, and I guess for me, we were talking about Skadoodle, we were talking about Nothing, we were talking about Shroud at the start of the game. Automatic and Stewie are the two currently getting the job done. And that's when I think, you know, you have a fairly balanced roster you can be confident with, when 3 of your most prolific players don't play well and you can still grind out a pretty convincing score line here. I'm not going to say win because I don't want to jinx that just yet, but they've managed to get themselves in a very good winning position here, Cloud9, whilst their 3, I guess, best players are playing, well, you know, traditionally best players are playing poorly. Or not poorly, but just, you know, they're not standing out.
Well, that being said, I don't think they're given much opportunity to at the moment. As you can see, Automatic there, just very, very defensive, actually. Whitmer caught pushing, trying to get some information, trying to make a play for his team, trying to make something happen. And at the moment on compLexity side, not much is going right for them. Def, though, is definitely the one that is providing the most resistance. He's just, without that support, though, it's not that that help coming in the form of fragging power from the rest of his teammates. He does find Skadoodle there, but he is, well, Nothing actually running into Uber, and they are going to take this B bomb site. So it is a 3 versus 3. Def, though, is hanging on to dear life. He is bleeding internally, and I don't think compLexity are going to make that call to go for this. They're going to try and put some pressure on short, though. Android with a frag there that could spur the retake. Stewie, though, takes him down quite quickly. It's now down to a 2 versus 2 situation. Def, though, is essentially fodder. He is left now in a 1 versus 2, and I don't think, now a 1 versus 1. He doesn't like his chances in this one. I mean, a stiff breeze could take him down here at the moment. Automatic, though, is going to play this perfectly, and Def had no choice but to try and stick that one. That was the only way he was going to win that round. He couldn't enter into a firefight, as we do see Cloud9 bring up match point.
Beautifully done there by Cloud9. They did what they had to do and eventually picked up the round. 15-9, and once again compLexity forced onto just a horrible mismatch of weapons here. Reward for effort for Cloud9, getting so many kills consistently across even rounds that they weren't successful with. So once again, the storyline from both sides is the same. Great work on the T side, but the CT side for Cloud9, it didn't look great, but I always sort of thought it would be better than compLexity's, because dealing with the amount of firepower on AKs that Cloud9 has is always going to be a challenge, and especially when you throw in some set strategies and an existing infrastructure of teamwork for a number of months. You know, it's going to be difficult for compLexity on their CT side, but they've done a decent job competing. They've done a decent job competing.
They've done a fantastic job, but unfortunately that's not going to be enough to get them over the line here against Cloud9. Cloud9 have just shown that they're far too clinical. They possess a lot of individual skill within their roster. We knew that looking at the lineup, and what really impressed us was the T-side play coming out for compLexity. Unfortunately, that didn't transition onto their CT side, and they're finding it very, very difficult. This double scout setup, though, may prove difficult for Cloud9. As you can see, nothing's already paid the price. So there is a little bit of a glimmer of hope for them in this round. But look, they are going to hedge their bets on the B-bomb site here, Cloud9. There are only 2 members of compLexity sitting and laying in wait. The weaponry on them isn't fantastic either, so they are at very real risk of being overrun here. Automatic with the spray, as it does take down one. Skadoodle with that AWP, finding the frag here. The trades are coming out, but this is not favouring compLexity at all at the moment. You can see Surreal is just hanging on to dear life. He is taken down by Stewie. All to do for Def. He has been phenomenal for them, but he is going to have to go prolific here if they are going to hold on to this map. But content to just wait this one out here, Cloud9. Smartly so. Skadoodle finishes that one off despite Def's best efforts. And compLexity fall in that first map. Cloud9 taking their map pick.
Yeah, just an all-round good map there for Cloud9. They started slowly on their CT side. They were actually getting booked quite a bit early on, caught out in their different rotations. Lots of over-peaking, over-aggression there. A lot of the signs of a very confident team, though, on one side. So when you see the final scoreline, you're like, you know, that's about right for the game. But early on, there was a lot of pressure there from compLexity, and I thought they started very well. It's a developing sort of, as you said before, tier 2 team, and they've got a pretty good future ahead of them if they continue to work hard and, I guess, put some more measures in place to deal with the aggressive tendencies of teams like Cloud9.
Yeah, what really impressed me from a compLexity's standpoint was the fact that Def was so sharp, so clean in his fragging. He just needed a little bit more help from compLexity. They would have been looking to the likes of Whitmer to try and help him out there, but unfortunately that wasn't the case. So he couldn't do it all alone. He did do a whole heap of work in getting them those 9 rounds, but unfortunately for them, it was just a bridge too far. Yep. And they weren't able to bridge the gap to Cloud9. So unfortunately, they fall in that first map. That was Cloud9's pick. And look, guys, we'll be taking a very, very short break here with the ESL Pro League between the maps. I've been Jim Nesso. Joining me is PDG, and we're watching the North American season. We'll be back, guys, after this short 5-minute break.
He's going to get the 1 kill in.